guys, and welcome back. My name is Erica. This big guy next to me is Sander. He is my psychiatric service dog. If you are new to my channel, I have bipolar 1, and although I take medication and I go to the doctor like I'm supposed to, Sander is a big help with my treatment. He is not a emotional support dog. He is task trained in multiple tasks, and he also is a natural tasker, and that is just a big fat bonus for me. Recently I was asked why I chose to owner train instead of getting a program dog. And the reason for that is because I started looking into service dogs and what they could do for people with bipolar 3 years before I got Sander, and I've had Sander for 8 years. So about 11-12 years ago I started looking into what they could do, and there was absolutely nothing on the internet, nothing like it is today, where you can go on Facebook and find pages on there for psychiatric service dogs, or you can look stuff up. There was nothing. I decided to read as much as I could, and anything that I could get my hands on that had to do with working dogs, period. And that included therapy dogs. I know that therapy dogs do not, they're not like under an umbrella for the service dogs. I understand that, but they did a service and I wanted to know more. What happened was, what triggered all of this was I saw something on TV about working dogs, and I just was captivated by how they were helping people with PTSD, and how they were and the things that they did physically for people, and it just captivated me, and I just got hooked, and I wanted to know more. I did have a dog at that time, and I always call her, she was like my little tester. I started training her in things that I put together myself, because I was reading so much on how to, train dogs and what to do and all that kind of stuff, that I just wanted to see what I could teach her. I wasn't out to make her a service dog or anything like that. I just wanted to see what I could do. He's leaving. He's trying to. I wanted to see what I could do with her, and that kind of got the ball rolling. So about 3 or 4 years after that, I got Sander, and I just went with everything that I had been practicing prior to getting him. And although not all dogs learn the same, I was able to maybe tweak some things, and I was able to train him the way I wanted him to learn. The one thing about owner training is that you can train your dog specifically to do specific things. Okay, here's a really good example. You'll see people that have psychiatric service dogs that put their hands in front of their face, and they'll like mimic crying or being upset. Maybe they'll rock a little bit. They're mimicking that behavior, and their dog will come in and interrupt that behavior. I didn't teach Sander how to do that, because I don't do that. Sander has been taught to interrupt when I pace. I pace when I get angry, and he has been taught to interrupt that behavior to make me aware of what I'm doing and to make me stop. Also, like self-harming, a lot of psychiatric service dogs are taught to interrupt that behavior. I don't self-harm, so I didn't teach him how to do that. So you have more control over what you are teaching your dog when you are owner training. Now, program trained dogs are absolutely wonderful. They are brilliant dogs, and they do a service to people that need them desperately. And I don't want you thinking that I'm saying anything wrong with them, because I'm not. I have been hearing lately that there are programs out there that are kind of taking advantage of the system, and they're not really fully training their dogs, and it's more of a money-making kind of thing. And that really is a shame. It really is a shame. It shouldn't be done like that. All I could say about if somebody's getting a program dog, you really need to look into that facility. Maybe you can find out their success rate, things like that, so you don't get caught up into the dog not performing like it's supposed to. You know, like I said, they shouldn't be doing it, but people take advantage of that, and all they want to do is make money from it, and it's too bad that happens. So I would really, like, if you're going to get a program dog, I would really, really look into it. You can even, like, go online and go on Facebook and ask people, you know, have you heard of this program? What do you think of it? You know, you could start asking questions and stuff, and you might be able to get a better perspective of that program. But as for owner training, I think that you have the leeway to teach your dogs the only things that you want that dog to know how to do. Like I said, I didn't teach everything that everybody else was doing. I only taught the things that I thought were going to benefit me, and how he could help me. So that is great about owner training. Like I said, it's different now than it was when I first started, and I guarantee you that I was not the first person to ever train a service dog for bipolar. I bet you we were scattered all over the United States and maybe in other countries. It's just that we didn't have the technology to link up to each other at that time. I think that sharing information is extremely important. I truly believe that we need to share the information because I know what it's like when it wasn't available. So my theory on sharing information is important. It's important to me. I mean, you guys know I do peer recording and I share everything on that I do with that. But I truly believe with service dogs that it's important to share information, maybe training techniques, anything that is going to benefit that other person for doing a good job. Another thing about owner training is that it's definitely a commitment. You need to have an ungodly amount of patience. You need patience, you really do. And you need to be able to put the time in to do it. And dogs aren't trained in 6 months or 8 months. Dogs take 2 years usually to become a service dog. It depends on, you know, exactly what's, I think, being taught. I can't speak for everybody, but it took me 2 years. Well, a little over 2 years. So it does take a long time. That's a lot of patience. You don't want to rush it. You can't rush it, you know, and things like that. So if you are thinking about owner training, you have to, you know, think of the bigger picture. You have to think of the time, the commitment, the energy, the patience. All of that stuff is going to play as a factor. Plus, you have to do your research. You have to figure out what you want to teach your dog and how you think you should go about it, and ask questions in the service dog community, because that is what we're supposed to be there. We're supposed to be there to help each other out. And I'm probably going to get the hurricane of hate, but I do not believe in task shopping. I think that is just a way to get angry with people. And the reason why I say this is because I come from a time where there was absolutely nothing out there. I couldn't share anything. Nobody could share anything with me because it wasn't there to be shared. And it's very frustrating to come from that and to see what we can possibly do as a service dog community. And then people start saying, well, you are task shopping if you're asking questions. We're supposed to ask questions so we do it right the first time, not the third or the fourth time. We need to be a better community when it comes to helping people learn what they do. Just because, I get it, just because one task works for one person doesn't mean that task is going to work for the other person. But this task can be modified to help that other person. So why wouldn't you want to help this other person better their life by having a service dog and teaching it the right way. It's just crazy to me. So no, I don't believe in that task shopping is a thing. Maybe I live under a rock and you guys can send me the hurricane of hate right now. I really don't care, because I think that that's just ridiculous to me. And you have to understand that I'm coming from a spot where there was nothing to share. And now we have this opportunity to share, and we should be sharing. It's just my opinion. Please remember that. So there are many ways why I would want to owner train and not go with a programmed dog. I just think that I had more control over what Sandy was going to learn, and it was a one-on-one kind of thing with us, and it was, you know, it was us as a team, and I just got to grow closer with him. And I know this, it just seems like we're more tighter as a team because I was able to owner train him. I'm not saying that the program dogs with their handlers aren't a tight team either. This is just how I feel about it. I just feel like we are a tighter team because I owner trained him, and I know what works for him, and I know what doesn't work for him. You know, there's a whole package there for me, and I just liked that better. You know, the one thing that if you are new and you're trying to figure out what to do and all this stuff, one thing that new service dog handlers or trainees need to know is that 70% of service dogs across the board, so that means whether they're program trained, owner trained, trained from a trainer, whether they're from a backyard breeder, adopted, 70% across that whole entire board get washed out. So that's a high number. And I'm probably going to get more hate for this, but not every dog is made to be a service dog. Now, before you guys jump down my throat, every breed can be a service dog. Are some breeds harder to teach than others? Absolutely. Does that mean that they can't be a service dog? No, it doesn't. It just takes longer and a little bit more patience and all that good stuff. But any breed can be a service dog. But every dog or any dog can be a service dog? No, that's not true. If that was true, there would be no washing out. They would all just automatically get it. And they don't. And that's not saying there's anything wrong with any of those people or places that I just talked about. Some dogs don't want to do it. Some dogs want to be the princess and prince of your couch, and that is fine. But you have to realize when you're a dog, you know, that's a big thing that you need to realize when your dog just doesn't want to do it. They want to be a dog. They don't want to go every place with you. You know, they don't want to go to the dentist office with you, or to the doctor with you, or to the mall with you, or get in the car all the time, or ride the bus. Some dogs just don't want to do it, and that is fine. But, you know, I hear online all the time that any dog can be a service dog, and that's false. That's false, because there would be no washing out, because any dog would get it. You cannot force a dog to do what you want to do. And you need, as handlers and owners, we need to learn how to respect that and to realize that. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. So, I mean, I owner trained because it was just better for me. It doesn't mean that it's the best thing for someone else. But if you are looking into a program trained dog, please, please, please do your research so you don't get taken advantage of. There are some really incredible places out there that are doing the right thing, and unfortunately we do have those places that aren't, just do your research, ask questions, go online, ask more questions, go to the service dog pages on Facebook, ask questions. You know, the only way you're going to find out is if they are legit or not is if you ask those questions. If you are a new trainer, a new owner trainer, and you're stuck with something, you're trying to figure something out, you want to learn more, before you get your service dog, whatever it is, don't hesitate to ask questions. That's what the service dog community is supposed to be here for. We're supposed to help you guys better your life like we have bettered our lives. One more thing, I made a collar. It's an adjustable collar, and I used leather. I didn't use the biothane. I decided to use leather, and I made this this pretty pink and blue collar, and I made a traffic pole, and it is for another YouTuber, Claire and Percy. I tried to send a message through Instagram and I got nothing back. So I was hoping that maybe you guys could help me get her address so I can send this to her. I want to thank her. She talked about on one of her videos about something called the Real Dog Box, and I had just stopped getting the bark box at that time because Sander couldn't have the treats in the bark box anymore. They were just upsetting his stomach, and it just wasn't worth just getting the toys anymore. So she put up a video on the Real Dog Box, and I decided to try it out, and nothing in the box made Sander sick. Nothing. We were really impressed, me and my husband, because we were concerned because he had such a hard time, but nothing. The downside is that they don't have any toys in it, but the upside is that I was able to give him everything that was in that box and nothing made him sick. So I wanted to thank her for doing that video because I probably would have never heard of that place. So, and I'm getting the box in for now on. So can you guys help me find her? I really, 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 really appreciate it. And until next time, be uniquely happy and take care.